Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're a SASSA beneficiary or you know someone who relies on SASSA grants for their livelihood, you'll want to listen closely to what we're talking about today. Major changes are on the horizon for the South African Social Security Agency, and they are set to take effect as early as May 2025. These updates could mean shifts in payment schedules, adjustments in eligibility criteria, and even the introduction of new systems that may streamline or complicate how millions of South Africans receive their grants. We're diving deep into all of that and more, so make sure to stay with us right to the end for the full breakdown of what to expect, how it could impact you, and what you need to do to stay informed and prepared. Let's start with what's been confirmed. SASSA has officially announced that a major revamp is underway in how grants will be distributed across the country starting in May 2025. This comes after months of consultations, budgetary assessments, and planning by the Department of Social Development in collaboration with Treasury and the South African Reserve Bank. The changes are designed to improve efficiency, reduce fraud, and ensure that payments reach the right people at the right time. While many are optimistic that these changes will lead to a more secure and reliable social welfare system, others are expressing concern about potential delays and confusion, particularly in rural areas where access to digital resources is limited. One of the biggest updates coming in May is the digitization of the payment verification process. Up until now, many grant recipients have relied on physical cards, in-person visits to post offices, or even manual ID checks at local retailers. But from May onwards, SASSA plans to begin phasing in a new biometric verification system. This system will involve facial recognition, fingerprint scanning, and in some cases, voice authentication to verify the identity of beneficiaries. The goal here is to minimize fraudulent claims and impersonation, which have reportedly cost the government millions of rands over the years. For many, this sounds like a step forward into the modern age. But for older recipients and those without access to smartphones or modern technology, it may present a challenge. SASSA has reassured the public that there will be support teams and help centers established in various municipalities to assist with the transition. In addition to biometric authentication, there's also a significant change in how and when payments will be made. Previously, grant payments followed a fairly rigid schedule, with different types of grants paid out on different days throughout the first week of the month. This system often led to long queues, delays, and sometimes miscommunications. But starting in May, SASSA is rolling out what they're calling the Staggered Smart Disbursement System. Under this model, payments will be distributed more evenly across the month, and beneficiaries will receive SMS alerts or mobile notifications with their personalized payment dates. This staggered system is expected to reduce overcrowding at pay points and lessen the burden on local retailers and post office branches that have previously been swamped on payment days. Another crucial development is the expansion of payment options. SASSA has partnered with more financial institutions and mobile payment providers to give beneficiaries greater flexibility in how they receive their funds. In addition to traditional bank accounts and SASSA cards, recipients can now opt to receive payments through mobile money wallets such as MTN Momo and Vodacom e-wallet, or even directly to retail store loyalty cards like ShopRite Money Market. This offers more choices for recipients who may not have access to formal banking services, particularly in remote or underserved communities. However, SASSA warns that beneficiaries must ensure their information is accurate and up to date in order to avoid any delays or misrouting of funds during the transition. One topic that's generating a lot of attention is the possible increase in grant amounts. While the government has not officially confirmed a nationwide increase yet, there are strong indications that adjustments are being considered. Inflation in South Africa has steadily affected the cost of living, and social justice groups have been lobbying the government to boost grant values, especially for child support and old age pensions. There's also talk about linking future grant increases to a new inflation-based formula that would ensure annual reviews are more in line with real-world economic conditions. If that goes into effect, beneficiaries could see more predictable and sustainable increases each year, rather than waiting for budget speeches or sporadic adjustments. Of course, with these updates come some concerns. Some community leaders and activists are worried about the potential for increased digital exclusion. Not every beneficiary has access to a smartphone, internet, or even a stable phone line. The fear is that these individuals may be left behind in a system that prioritizes tech-based solutions. To address this, SASSA has announced the rollout of over 500 new mobile support kiosks that will travel to rural and under-resourced areas. These kiosks will offer biometric registration, account updates, and general assistance to ensure that everyone can access their grant payments regardless of their technological capabilities. It's a massive undertaking, and how smoothly this will be implemented remains to be seen. Another big shift to be aware of is the integration of SASSA with the Department of Home Affairs National Population Register. Essentially, this means that SASSA will now cross-reference its beneficiary database with real-time population records to detect anomalies, such as duplicate accounts, deceased recipients still receiving funds, or individuals receiving multiple grants fraudulently. This integration will likely help clean up the system and improve integrity. But it also means that beneficiaries must ensure their ID documents and status with Home Affairs are current and correct. Any discrepancies could lead to payment suspensions until they're resolved. The grant application process itself is also getting an overhaul. Starting in May, all new applications will need to be submitted online or through approved community-based organizations equipped with the new digital tools. Walk-in paper applications at SASSA offices will be limited to exceptional cases only. The online application portal is being redesigned to be more user-friendly, mobile responsive, and available in all 11 official South African languages. It will also include a real-time eligibility checker and estimated processing time tracker. This could potentially reduce the long wait times and administrative backlogs that many applicants have experienced in the past, though its success will hinge on public adoption and adequate training provided to support staff. For parents and caregivers, there's some additional news worth noting. The Child Support Grant Top-Up program is being expanded to include households with 3 or more children under the age of 18, up from the previous limit of 2 children. This means more money for larger families who often bear the brunt of poverty and food insecurity. Similarly, the foster care grant process is being aligned with new social worker regulations that will streamline case evaluations and renewals, potentially cutting down on the time it takes to finalize support for vulnerable children. There's also an ongoing debate around the future of the Social Relief of Distress (SRD) grant, popularly known as the R350 grant. Introduced during the COVID-19 pandemic, the SRD grant has served as a crucial lifeline for millions of unemployed South Africans. While the government had extended it multiple times, there was uncertainty about whether it would continue beyond March 2025. However, insiders in the Department of Social Development have hinted that a restructured version of the SRD grant may be introduced as part of a broader basic income grant initiative. This could mean a higher monthly amount, possibly closer to 500 Rand or 624 Rand, depending on available funding and fiscal constraints. Talks are ongoing, but an announcement is expected by mid-May, so this could be a game changer for low-income South Africans. For those receiving disability grants or old age pensions, there are some process changes too. Annual medical re-evaluations for disability grants will now be digitized in collaboration with public health facilities. This means fewer visits to SASSA offices and more streamlined assessments, with automated scheduling and real-time sharing of medical records between health departments and social services. For senior citizens, the age threshold for additional support services such as home care assistance and transport stipends is being lowered from 80 to 75 years old. recognizing the increased vulnerability and cost burdens faced by aging beneficiaries. It's important to mention the risks of scams and misinformation during this transition. With so many changes taking place, scammers are already targeting SASSA beneficiaries with fake SMS messages, phishing emails, and misleading social media posts. These messages often claim that recipients must re-register or pay a processing fee to keep receiving their grants. Let me make it absolutely clear. SASSA does not charge for applications, and official communication will always come from verified government channels. Beneficiaries should never share their ID numbers, bank account details, or card pins with anyone unless they are absolutely sure they are dealing with an authorized SASSA representative. SASSA has launched a nationwide media campaign to educate the public about these scams, but vigilance at the individual level is key. Many South Africans are asking, what can I do now to prepare for these changes? The first and most important step is to make sure all your contact details and identification documents are updated in the SASSA system. If you've changed phone numbers, moved to a new address, or renewed your ID, make sure SASSA has your latest information. Second, if you haven't already, consider registering for a mobile money account or updating your bank details to receive grants more reliably. Third, stay connected. Follow SASSA on social media, check their website regularly, and tune into community radio stations that often provide the latest updates in local languages. While change can be unsettling, these updates to the SASSA system are ultimately intended to make social assistance more fair, efficient, and accessible. There will be growing pains, of course, and not every transition will be perfect. But the bigger picture shows a commitment to modernizing South Africa's social welfare infrastructure in a way that better serves its citizens. It's a move toward accountability, equity, and responsiveness in a sector that affects the daily lives of over 18 million people across the country. So whether you're a recipient yourself, a caregiver helping someone access their grant, or just a concerned citizen keeping an eye on these developments, now is the time to stay informed. Major changes are here, and they start in May. Let's make sure we're ready. And let's also help those around us who may need assistance navigating these updates. From biometric verification to digital applications, expanded payment options to anti-fraud integration, this is a pivotal moment for SASSA and for the future of social protection in South Africa. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. If you found this information helpful or eye-opening, please give this video a like and share it with anyone who could benefit from knowing about these important updates. And if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss a critical update on SASSA payments, grant policy, and everything in between. We'll continue bringing you the latest news, breakdowns, and how-to guides to make sure you're always one step ahead. Until next time, take care, stay safe, and stay informed.